Dear you, I'm writing to you from a version of yourself who remembers how the nights felt heavier than the days. When the world finally went quiet, your thoughts didn't. The ceiling became a screen for memories, worries, and questions you didn't ask yourself during daylight. You lay still, listening to the hum of everything you tried not to think about, feeling the weight of unspoken thoughts settle into your chest. The night didn't scare you. It simply refused to let you hide. I remember how you told yourself you were tired, yet sleep felt far away. Not because your body wasn't ready, but because your mind was still pacing. It replayed conversations you wished you'd handled differently. It projected futures you weren't prepared for. It whispered doubts that daylight distractions kept quiet. And in those moments, you felt alone. Not because no one cared, but because no one could hear what the night was saying to you. You didn't talk about it much. You didn't want to sound dramatic. You didn't want to explain something that felt shapeless and private, so you carried it silently. Night after night, you learned how to function on little rest. You learned how to smile with tired eyes. You learned how to answer, "I'm fine," without feeling like you were lying, because you were fine, just not at night. There were moments when you reached for your phone, hoping distraction might quiet the noise. Moments when you stared into the dark, wishing your thoughts would slow down. Moments when you promised yourself, tomorrow will be better, even as the same worries returned with familiar persistence. I saw how those nights wore on you. I saw how the quiet became loud. I saw how the darkness felt crowded with things you didn't have space to process during the day. And I saw how you kept going anyway, meeting your mornings with resolve, even when your nights asked for more care than you knew how to give. You weren't weak for struggling at night. You weren't broken for thinking too much. You were simply human. Finally, alone with your inner world. Your past self understands now why the nights felt so loud. Daytime demanded performance responsibilities, roles, conversations, movement. You gave your energy outward, managing tasks and expectations, leaving little room to feel what lingered beneath the surface. When night arrived, the guard lowered. The mind reclaimed its voice. The heart asked to be heard. Nighttime thoughts aren't random. They're the residue of unprocessed feelings, their questions postponed by busyness. Their emotions waiting for permission. You weren't overthinking because you wanted to. You were finally still enough to notice what needed attention. The night didn't create your worries, it revealed them. And because you hadn't learned how to sit with them gently, they arrived all at once, urgent and insistent. You also carried expectations of yourself, of outcomes, of being okay. You held yourself to standards that didn't leave space for uncertainty. So when the night asked honest questions, what if I fail? What if I disappoint? What if I never figure this out? You felt exposed, vulnerable, unprepared. Your past self sees now that the discomfort came from resisting the night instead of listening to it. You tried to silence your thoughts when they wanted acknowledgement. You tried to force sleep when your heart wanted reassurance. You tried to push away fears that needed compassion, not control. The night was not your enemy. It was a messenger. It asked you to slow down. It asked you to be honest. It asked you to notice what daylight ignored. And beneath the noise, there was care. A deep desire to protect you, to prepare you, to make sense of what mattered. Your thoughts weren't cruel. They were concerned. They wanted safety. They wanted clarity. They wanted to know you would be okay. On scent, you understand that the night changes shape. It becomes less of a battleground and more of a quiet room where feelings can be named and released. The darkness doesn't feel so crowded when you stop fighting what it brings. Now I'm speaking to the you reading this. The you who still feels the night stretch long. The you who lies awake with a mind that won't rest. The you who wonders when quiet will finally arrive. Take a slow breath. Let it settle low and steady. Let this truth soften the space inside you. The night is not asking you to solve everything. It's asking you to be kind to yourself. You don't need to chase sleep. You don't need to fix every thought. You don't need answers before rest arrives. You can let thoughts pass without chasing them. You can acknowledge fears without feeding them. You can offer yourself reassurance instead of resistance. Peace at night doesn't come from silence. It comes from trust. Trust that you can be with your thoughts without being overwhelmed by them. Trust that you don't need to resolve your entire life before morning. Trust that it's okay to pause. Little by little, the nights will soften. Not because worries disappear, but because you learn how to meet them gently. You will find moments of stillness, brief at first, then longer. You will discover that breathing slowly can create space. You will notice that naming a feeling can reduce its grip. You will learn that rest is allowed even when questions remain unanswered. Your future nights hold calm you haven't felt yet. Your future mornings will feel lighter. Your future self will thank you for the gentleness you practice now. Remember this, you are safe to rest. The world will still be there in the morning. Your questions will wait, your worries will loosen, and you will wake with a little more clarity than you had before. Take one more breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let the room feel quieter. Not because the thoughts are gone, but because you've made peace with their presence. You are not alone at night. You are learning to be with yourself, and that companionship, steady, patient, kind, will carry you into rest. Sincerely, you.